Hello and welcome to Empowered by Michelle. This is episode 2 of my journey to 100 videos in 100 days. Yesterday, I shared about my testimony of going through separation and divorce and how God really blessed me and my daughter so richly. And I want to talk to those who may be going through separation and divorce and just to reassure you that God loves you. Jesus hates divorce because of what it does to his children, because of the devastation of the separation, and especially if it wasn't something that you were planning on. Most people don't get married to get divorced, but I want you all to know that there are faith communities that will embrace you, that will love you, that will be there for you. My faith community, Serenity Christian Church, was just incredible for me and my daughters as I was going through that. Even before my marriage ended, I always got a lot of support from some of the older mothers of the church, speaking life. And now it's wonderful to be able to speak life into some of the mothers that are younger than me and reassuring them and not even realizing that I was making an impact. We had a program at our church called Ignite the Fire. I believe Minister Alana, or it was called Ignite. She put it together, and people actually went to the front, and people began to pour into them and really let them know the impact that they have. And I know that I am an encourager by nature. That's one of the reasons why I started this channel, because I want people to know that you are valued and that you are loved no matter what your marital status is. And I think it's important to note that being a part of that faith community really helped going through that. And my heart breaks for those who have experienced church hurt. And I knew someone who was over a ministry, and someone challenged their authority because they were divorced, which I thought was crazy. Because I want you to know that no matter what your situation is, God loves you. You have purpose in your life. And I know that it hurts. I know that the pain may seem like, well, I don't know when is this going to stop hurting? One day it will just start getting easier. And to know that you do have purpose. And sometimes the pain that you go through is part of the ministry. God will take something that the enemy tried to set out to destroy you with, and turn that around where you'll be able to minister to others who are going through it. So rest assured that you have purpose. You are not alone. You are loved. And I'm excited to see what God is going to do in your life. Please feel free to share any testimonies, any questions that you may have, any comments that you may have about this season that you might be in. Now, I've been getting a couple of questions, like within the last couple of weeks. Two people asked me, so are you seeing anybody? Are you talking to anybody? I have been in, I was in one relationship, and it lasted about 6 months, and then it ended amicably. And it was virtually drama free. He just wasn't the one for me, and I wasn't the one for him, and it's all good in the hood. Right now, if I really wanted to date, I probably would be dating, but right now that's just not my focus. My focus right now is really being specifically in God's will. Not to say that you can't be in God's will while you are in relation with someone, but for me, that's just not where I am right now. And that's okay. I've also just taken on more caregiving duties. in assisting my mother. I am an empty nester by definition. Shout out to my baby. Today is her 20th birthday. Love you, sweetie. So I have two college age students. They're doing really well. I'm also positioning myself to do some more travel in the future. I loved my time that I spent in Bali, Indonesia, and I know that travel will continue to be a part of my future. And it's also very healing. When I was going through my divorce, I actually went on my first trip. When I was married, we would visit family, but we didn't really do like vacations. And I actually started doing some things with my daughters and my family on my side of family. And I went on a cruise, and it was so amazing. And that was it for me. I said, okay, I went to on a cruise, and then I think I went to Puerto Vallarta, and then when I was 50, my sister surprised me. We went to Cancun, and then I think 2020 we did a family trip up north because we were looking for a place where there was not a whole lot of cases of COVID. So we did. It was myself, my parents. My dad was still with us. My nephew and my daughters. We drove up there. We've also did Myrtle Beach, and then I came back from Bali, and I also went to Colombia with my daughters to visit my sister, who was living abroad. She was living there. So, and what you will know about me in these videos, I have ADHD, so I may go off on some tangents, but I always bring it back. I think travel is very healing. Gives you good perspective, be able to go out and see God's creation because it's not just your area. Although I do love my home. Um, I love my home. I love where I live. But it's always good to get out there and know that you have different opportunities to see how people are living. And that would just open your eyes, and you will look at different situations and come back inspired. I know I did. I had a whole plan of how to get my house in order just on the plane. Just on the plane. And going through what I've gone through and looking back, I cannot believe that it has been, in 2015, it's 11 years since the beginning of everything. And then when the divorce was finalized in 2017, it'll be 10 years next fall. And I'm just looking at what God has done for me. Being able to work in a position where I am working remotely, I get out and work in the community, work with nonprofits, been able to even expand my knowledge base, where I can offer services to nonprofits. But that's for my other video, Let's Talk Nonprofits. Y'all, check that out. It's on YouTube as well. But when you start stepping out on faith, when you start leaving your mind open to receive what God has for you, the impact on your life will be phenomenal. And you will look up and say, wow, I am literally living in the dream. I am sitting in a home that I prayed for, something that I didn't even know that I could even achieve. But God said, yes, you can. It was in the middle of a pandemic. People were saying no. I actually was told by one realtor, no, mortgage company, no, it's the pandemic. And being able to get this house. And not only that, my sister was able to move into her home a few months later. It's just mind boggling because whenever I hit challenges, sometimes you have to remember, what they say, God ain't new to this, he's true to this. He will always be there for you. You just have to turn to him, and you have to be bold, and you have to walk in faith. And even with doing this challenge that I set for myself, which is so insane, I shout out to Glow Autonomo. I'm sorry if I say her name wrong, because I remember watching her. She posts videos every single day, and then it just hit me like a ton of bricks. Do 100 videos in 100 days, and I said, okay, but do it on all your channels. I said, well, okay, I only have the two. Well, no, you're gonna do a third one, and so now I have three channels. I have this one, which I guess I would call this is the parent channel, because it's not as specific. It's empowered by Michelle, and then I have Michelle's Joyous Gardening, which I have the most subscribers because I've been filming a lot of content, gardening content. And then the newest one that just started yesterday, Let's Talk Nonprofits with Michelle. And I said, I don't know how I'm going to be able to do this with everything else that's going on. But God said, you got this. And I'm letting you know, you've got this. Divorced, single, married, whatever God put on you, put on your heart to do, go out and do it. The time is now. Thanks for joining me. Empowered by Michelle.